Hi everyone, welcome to Tarot for Today, Divine Dabblings with Oberon and me, Banshee. And it is me, Banshee, for my birthday reading. Oh, no, not today, but my birthday's tomorrow, so woohoo! Welcome to my Material Matters segment, your weekly keys to success in business, education, and finance. And maybe birthdays too, we'll just say. So I hope everybody's doing well. I'm feeling great myself right now. So we got our web page up. Do check it out. It's www.tfttarotfortoday.com. Woohoo! So do pay us a visit. Other than buying readings, there will be free stuff. There'll be a blog, news, there'll be a forum. Do join us. You know, we hope to have a lot of fun. There'll be events. The sky's the limit. And there are videos there. So check out our welcome video. Today for the collective, before I even get into the meat of the matter here with the readings, I'm going to do a reading for all of us, from the Urban Crow Oracle. And that's by MJ Coulinane, of course. It's a great little deck. I used it for one of my Feathered Friend Friday readings on Twitter and Facebook. Let's see what the Crow has for us today. I hear trouble, a cat. Okay, these are always read upright. Wow, interesting card for April showers. It's called Waterproof. And some days don't I wish I was. Let's see what waterproof, the message of waterproof has for us. All right. Crow feathers have a greasy protective coating that prevents water from getting through to the skin. You too have the ability to create a waterproof exterior. When we are waterproof, we are protected from others' draining emotions that can weigh us down. Being waterproof allows you to experience a storm without letting it hold you back. I think there's messages in there for us for the material world, you know. Act like you're waterproof. Let this stuff just roll right off of you. You know, especially workplace dramas and stuff like that. A fine message from our feathered friends, the Crow, this week. And now we'll get to our readings with a little bit of a astrological update beforehand. So this is a reading that goes from April 18th today through April 24th, and of course April 19th is my birthday. Rah rah, sis boom ba. I'm celebrating. Well, I have been celebrating for a while now. So how old are you? How old are you? Now I'm 64. It's going to be a 1 year for me after getting off of that 9 year. Numerologically, it's going to be a number 1 year for me. So hopefully that will be the harbinger of good new beginnings. All right. So, April 19th, that's the big news, but also something else is happening on April 19th. That is the day that the sun enters Taurus, like it did when I was born, too. So, the sun went into Taurus a few hours after I was born. And Mercury enters Taurus that day as well. Mars enters Cancer on April 23rd. And let's not forget our Mama's Day, Earth Day, on April 22nd, Mother Earth. Where would we be without her? So that's what's going on this week in the astrological and birthday department. We're going to move on to the readings now, and we're going to go with the air signs, of course, we start with every week. Our friends Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. This reading is for you. And speaking of Sun going into Taurus, we're going to have a monthly modality message coming soon. So stay tuned for that. Okay, let's get the show on the road for the air signs. They like to keep things moving. All right. Aw, hey, your focus card for the week ahead is the 10 of Cups. How awesome, and it's upright. So there's a lot of happiness afoot and togetherness and harmony. Harmony in the workplace, harmony amongst your peers, maybe your supervisors. Good times, you know. It seems as though maybe there'll be some celebrations, you know. Maybe there's some retirements, maybe there's some celebrations, anniversaries going on, things of that nature. Everybody's in kind of a more happy mood. So that's a great start to the week, and so are you, air signs. You're feeling it. You're feeling the love and the camaraderie and happiness around you. So how best can you prepare for that focus? Well, King of Cups, how about being the life of the party here? But I mean in a good way, you know, in a slightly maybe more responsible way. I know the King of Cups sometimes can get a little carried away, you know, especially I think if he's reversed. But you know, this is just showing tempered emotions. This is showing keeping things even and real. And I feel that that's a really nice compliment to this card here. You know, maybe you can create some of these happy moments for the people around you in the material world, you know. How about giving that trusted advisor a gift of some sort, you know, for all they've done for you? How about rewarding your employees, you know? Show some love. I think this is really important. I know this is not Mr. O's emotional exchanges, but hey, sometimes love can go a long way in the work environment. And guess what? People are all in on this feeling. Look at this. Will people be helpful or not this week? Well, I'd say they are. I think they're not only willing to pitch in, they're willing to help you bring in some cash. You know, whether it's the right, you know, whether somebody's giving you the right financial advice at the right time, or whether people are making those sales for you, doing the sales pitches, all is well. You know, people are on the same page and they are working hard and, you know, maybe even taking the lead in, you know, bringing in some money, bringing in some extra income here, coming up with some ideas that will make money flow. So ultimately, air signs will be forward or backward movement for you this week. Well, or no movement at all. We have the Hierophant reversed. I think what happens is by week's end, you know, maybe this has just been such an unusual week of magnanimity, you know, where people seem to be very happy and filled with, you know, joy and love and a really positive energy, that this is just going to feel like a very unorthodox ending to the week. You're going to look back at all of this and think, wow, you know, this is a week to remember in some ways. I think you're going to find, you know, there is some forward movement because obviously people are helping you get there, but it's just going to seem very quirky to you in a good way. So let's look at that again. Happiness abounds. There's a lot of spirit of camaraderie and working together. You know, people are in harmony and it's all good. And you foster that by, you know, being a big part of that. You know, maybe planning some parties, or maybe you were the party planner for some parties that are taking place this week in the workplace, you know, some celebrations. Maybe you are giving gifts to others, you know, and for showing appreciation for all they've done for you. You know, this is very positive. Maybe you're taking the lead role in, you know, bringing about this happiness that people are experiencing and working together. People around you, they're bringing in the money, you know, they're helping you out. They're doing things that are going to make it better for you financially. So, you know, whether it's financial advice, whether it's some real estate deal, something is really going very right, and other people have a lot to do with that. And ultimately, you're just going to look back on this week and say, wow, this was just like out of the blue, a most unorthodox week for me. How did we get this to happen? You know, because in the environment we're in right now, things are very still stressed and not together. So just the fact that this can happen this week for you, air signs, it's a good thing. So that's what I have for you. Awesome. Okay, fire signs. This is for you. Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. My friends, I just squeak in on the Aries bandwagon and the fire sign crew with my late in the month birthday. The zodiacal month, that is. All right. Here we go, fire. Oops. I am moving the camera. My producer is not going to like that. All right. Let's see what your first card is. Hey, cups abound this week. What the? We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got the Knight of Cups upright. Hey, something's happening. Something is happening. You know, the Knights are people that are on the move. So something is on the move. And what it is, it looks like, is happiness and joy. Something that's going to bring you a feeling and a sense of fulfillment, emotional satisfaction and fulfillment. So how best can you prepare for that focus this week? Well, how about finding ways to de-stress? You know, we can't, fire signs, we have a tendency to always be like, not on guard, but just like ready for anything, you know. So in a way, yes, on guard. We're just always in that ready to go mode, you know. And maybe it's time to just tone it down a bit and relax and soak in some of this pleasurable energy that's going to be around us. So I'd say lighten up a little bit, you know, de-stress. Feel better about things. Well, so what about people this week? Will there be forward or backward movement? I'm sorry. With them, will they be helpful, cooperative, or not? The reason I think I went to the movement thing is because I saw the Six of Swords here. And the Six of Swords is all about movement, all right, but it's moving away. And so I have to say here, I wonder if this week some of us aren't going to be saying goodbye to some people in our workplaces. Maybe some people that you've worked with for years, you know, trusted advisors. Maybe they're retiring. Maybe they're moving on to different jobs. Maybe in the workforce there's some changeovers happening. I don't know that this is necessarily, you know, a very unhappy thing, because I feel that these people are moving on to something better in their lives. And in that respect, you should feel good for them. You know, there's that Knight of Cups. And the Knight of Cups is moving. And maybe there's a little bit of interplay here between those two cards, fire signs. Oh, so will there be forward or backward movement or no movement at all? Well, I think by the end of the week, it's going to be a little bit bittersweet for you, you know. Got to take some of the happy with the sad. I mean, maybe people are moving on, and it's good for them, but you're feeling a little wistful and a little bit disappointed. Maybe by week's end, you realize that now some changes are afoot. You know, there's going to be some changeovers with staff or the people that you now have to work with, and you're finding that just a little bit emotionally disruptive. It's really interesting this week that the first two signs that I'm doing have a lot of emotional interplay going on, in the business world in this week ahead. So let's take a look at this quickly again, fire signs. It looks as though the Knight of Cups is telling you that, something is going to happen that's going to make you very happy this week, bring you some joy, bring you some contentment, and bring you some fulfillment. And I kind of feel that's the way you start the week. You start the week with these feelings. But, you can't seem to unwind. You have this problem unwinding, and the best way you can, maintain these energies and keep this kind of feeling afloat is by trying to de-stress a little bit more. Not always being so ready to jump. Sometimes it's good to take your time when you're doing stuff, fire signs. And also, maybe this week, some of this joy is coming from the fact that you are saying goodbye to some people and you're happy for them. You're happy that they have found some better things in life, that they're retiring, that they're moving on to better times. Because this is like leaving conditions, the stressful work life or whatever, and moving on to more happier terrain. And ultimately, I think by week's end, that's going to hit you a little bit. You're going to realize some changes have to take place. And yeah, we fire signs are not all that great with that. We like to keep moving. And we like to decide, when changes happen. When changes happen to us, that's like another story. So hang in there, fire signs. Good luck with that. We'll see how it goes for you, man. See what next week brings. But not at all bad. So now, what could happen with the water signs? We've gone through all this emotional stuff here. I'm waiting to see what's going to go on. Oh, thank you, producer. He knows it's time. Was I sounding a bit dry there? Or was that my humor?
Oh, no, dear.
Well, I'm sure my producer is listening intently to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces message for the week ahead. Well, your focus card is definitely not water. It is fire. It is the Nine of Wands. I have a lot of different opinions about this card. Some good, some not so good. Clearly, in this card, it looks pretty bright, actually. It looks as though, this person has been through a lot. May have to endure a little bit more, but I think they can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel here. They realize that, they just have to persevere a little bit longer. You're almost there, water signs. You're almost at the end of something, that could reap some rewards for you. But, it's been through hard work, effort, blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak, that you've gotten to this point. And how best can you prepare for that? Well, let's look at this card here before I bring this one up again. Here we have somebody who is preparing for battle, has everything lined up in a row. And guess what you have here? You have the Magician card, who definitely has his hands on everything here that he needs to succeed. And also, look at him. It looks like he's juggling them there. No problem, no sweat. And that's the way you got to handle it here. Is like, you have been through so much already. You're ready. You are prepared. You're ready. Your will is in it because you realize you're in it to win it. Interesting. We've got the same card in the same spot for you. So, what about people this week? Will they be helpful or hurtful? Six of Swords, upright again, and in that position. So, people are kind of moving on, I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I feel like maybe there'll be some switchovers, maybe in some committee assignments, in some lower level kind of things for you guys. I feel, though, that there's going to be a shuffling, and people are going to be maybe moving on to some positions that better suit them. And so I feel that it's not a bad thing. It's absolutely not a bad thing all the way around, because in this shuffle, it probably means that, somebody else will come in that will maybe more match, what the skill sets that are needed for what needs to get done. Wow. So will there be forward or backward movement, or no movement at all for you this week? Well, I'm really thinking this week is all about building towards something with the cards we've had. And this card right at the end here, the 10 of Swords reversed, indicates to me that I think you realize that it is time to move on. Maybe like these people here who have moved on, it is time for you to let some things go, and maybe let them go, and recognize that tomorrow's another day. Healing is arriving. There's going to be some positive changes. There is light at the end of the tunnel. So I feel like you're pretty much going to be holding your own materially, water signs. But I feel like you're preparing for something. You are preparing. You've got that 9 of Wands to start with, and that is like your focus. You want to make sure you have all your ducks in a row, that you are prepared for what's going to come your way, because you're nearing the end of something really special. And it's only a matter of time and a little bit more perseverance till you get there. And use the talents and skills and abilities that you have. All these tools are here. You've put them all in place. Now you have to put your will behind them and use them to your advantage. But, there's going to be some shuffling going on, which is maybe why there's not forward movement per se. Some people are going to be leaving. They're going to be moving on to some other things now. And it's probably other things that they're more better suited for. So I think that, you'll accept that. And you will be able to let them go with that 10 of Swords reversed here. Let them go with love, or with, just letting it go, and moving on to better situations and circumstances. So it's a building process for you guys this week, water signs. Good luck with that. It was a very interesting reading, I have to say. Hey, earth signs, it's your turn. Well, let's see what we've got for you. And that's our friends Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. All right. Now I know I shuffle these cards. So now we have the 9 of Swords in the same position for you.
Wands.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Mr. Producer. We have the 9 of Wands in this position for you again. So, synchronicity. I feel that you're preparing for something. And, you realize, too, that this is going to culminate into something wonderful if you keep your nose to the grindstone and, you put in more effort. You're almost there. It's just like with the water signs. You can feel it. But now you have to, prepare for what's ahead. And how best you can prepare for that focus? Well, you know what? It's not by just jumping right into the battle. We have the Hanged Man up right here. And the Hanged Man is indicating it's time to step back a little bit, and maybe look at things from a different perspective, Maybe turn your world upside down, the way you do things. Maybe you realize something radical needs to happen, to reach this conclusion that you desire. And you want to get done, you want to be done with the situation. So now it's time to take a fresh look and look at things from a different angle, a different perspective, and maybe do things a bit differently. So what about people this week? You know, people are going to make you feel like that there's hope, that truly there is this light at the end of the tunnel. You know, they're there to support you. You know, as a matter of fact, you may have more support around you than you actually realize. When I think of the star a lot of times, when you think of the stars in the vast universe, you know, it's very expansive. And so I'm thinking in this position, it indicates you have more help and support out there for your goals and your aims than you realize. Oh dear. But so ultimately, will there be forward or backward movement or no movement at all for you Earth signs this week? We have the Tower reversed. So I will say there's going to be some setbacks. And I think the setbacks are because you are unwilling to take in some lessons that you've needed to along the way of your struggles here. Let's put this all together and see how we can tie it all in. So basically, Earth signs, I think that you're preparing for the end of something. You want something to be over and done with, and probably in the worst way possible. It's taken a lot out of you to get to this point. And there is light there. You just need to persevere and try to keep your chin up. But more than keeping your chin up, it's really imperative, I think, seeing that last card there, that you look at things, you not only look at things from a different perspective, you do things differently. If you're doing the same things over and over again, and you're not getting the results that you really want, it's time to really think about that and act about that. Do things differently. People want to support you. They are there. They're like your cheerleading squad and more. They're there to help. They're there to support you in your aims and ambitions. And they really think, you know, they really feel you've got it in you to do this. But ultimately, you are in danger of repeating this cycle again and not getting to the end that you so cherish, you know, if you don't shake things up a bit in your world. You have to look at things differently. You're going to have to really try to do things differently this week, Earth signs. Good luck with that. That's what I have for you for this week ahead. Even with the Earth signs, I don't necessarily feel anything very earth-shaking in our material worlds this week. Let's hope so. And let's hope we start getting a better handle. Let's hope this week starts a turnaround with what's going on with the COVID virus worldwide. We need a break. So, hey, everybody. Happy birthday to me. And good luck to everybody in the week ahead. I wish you the best, and I'll see you next Sunday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.